In terms of Macy's and this pre-announcement, the fact that you have other retailer names that are trading lower, including Target as well, is this something that we should, or investors should be reading through as a broader warning about the state of the U.S. consumer, or is this very much a Macy's-specific story?
No, I think it's a huge overreaction. I think retail is still very strong. I think the consumer is still very buoyant. And the problems that you're hearing are specific to retailers. And by the way, a 1.1 comp for the holiday season isn't horrible. It's still growth. But retail is a math equation, right? If retail is up 3% and the three beasts, Walmart, Amazon, and Target, are all over 3% growth, then you're going to have to expect some people to be below that. I think it's specific. It's just an indicator that in order to be successful in retail right now, you better be on your A game.
Does this put Macy's recovery strategy into question?
It's going to be challenging for them. It was always going to be challenging for them. I think the path that they laid out is probably a good one. This is a setback, and we'll see what happens in the coming months. Again, I don't think the result is worth a 20% decline in the stock. I'm sure it wasn't what they were expecting, but we'll see how they're able to recover from it. I'm still fairly optimistic.
Bill, looking at Target, comp sales up 5.7%, online up 29%, as Courtney said. I mean, that sounds pretty good to me based on the numbers that investors were looking at as far as a company like Target is concerned, yet the stock is down 3.5%. Should we expect a name like Target, given the uncertainty in the macro environment, to be raising even with those kinds of results?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why whether the strategy to raise or to hold guidance is, and sometimes it's the adage of under promise and over deliver. Target's been doing a really good job. They look really good during the holiday season, and probably for the last year, Brian and his team there have been doing a really terrific job. They were probably, in my view, the winner on toys. At least on the brick and mortar side in the Toys R Us battle. And I expect them to continue to do well, whether they held or raised. That's gamesmanship, but I think they're doing pretty well right now.
Bill, you mentioned Target as a potential winner from the holiday season. I mean, looking across the broader sector, what else do you expect to have performed well?
Well, I think Walmart and Amazon. I think Amazon obviously online is going to continue to grow. I think that people need to sort of temper their expectations of the massive growth that we're seeing from the online segment, and it's not because it's slowing down. It's just because the law of large numbers. As these companies start to put more and more of their sales online, the 30s and the 40% growth that they've been delivering is going to be harder to deliver just because of the law of large numbers. Brick and mortar, I think for everything else besides toys, Walmart really ran a really efficient, effective holiday season, and I think I would expect them to do well. And then there are some other winners in small pieces and places. But with those three guys that, doing well, those three really big retailers, they pretty much suck up all the oxygen in the room.
Bill, your take at the outset here of our interview in terms of the health of the consumer, I would assume some of that's also informed by your work on the board of DART, and I know you can't speak specifically to that, but what gives you confidence overall in the consumer right now?
Yeah, I don't think the consumer's listening to the noise that everybody else that you hear on the news about, shutdowns and Mueller investigations and trade wars. I think right now their pocket, gas prices, their paychecks, jobs are all really, really good and continuing to be really good. And so the consumer spending, and that's what you're hearing from, the MasterCard results from the holiday period. If it continues, if the shutdown continues and people start, feeling a different impact on their wallets and in their paychecks, if something changes with the Mueller investigation, if we can't solve trade, I think it could go the other way. But right now, for the period that we're in, first half of the year, I think the consumer is going to stay strong, and hopefully they'll be able to carry us through. And maybe the politicians and policymakers will be able to get out of their own way and we can solve some of these things.